ain't moving through life, if they're not moving through life, that emulate someone that has the fear of God. Because let me tell you, when you have the fear of God, you're not gonna do certain things in this life. Because you know that you're going to see God and you have to face God. When you did that evil thing, he'll say, Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am back again with another video. Today we're going to be doing a girl talk and I'm here with my friend Moni.
Hello. Hey y'all.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here again with another video and today we're going to be filming a girl talk of lessons that we've learned so far in our early 20s. So if you're in your early 20s or later 20s or whatever and you just want to get little gems that we've learned so far, stay tuned for the video. But I'm here with my friend Moni.
Hey guys.
And yeah, we're gonna film this video, but before we start, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl's channel. And yeah, so let's just get into the video. First and foremost, I would just like to say thank you so much for being on my channel.
Yes, I'm the first guest, y'all. I'm so honored.
Okay, so what would you say is like the biggest lesson you've learned so far?
Okay, the biggest lesson I've learned in my 20s so far would definitely be putting God first. Like, just putting everything like into perspective. Like, it's really just putting God first and everything will fall in line.
Yeah, I think that that's so important because you know, just being in your 20s, you know, we're in a time where we have goals, we have expectations, we're growing, we're changing, and so making sure God is the center of your growth, making sure God is the center of everything you do makes things easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, I think it helps a lot. Just seeking God in everything, because it can be tough, it can be hard out here, but like with God it makes things easier. You know what I mean? Especially as you're building and you're growing and like you're becoming the best you, like how you started off with that.
No,
that really is
it's the
key.
truth.
Yeah,
it's
the
key.
key. Like that's it.
No, honestly, like if I think about everything, like it's definitely like putting God first. Like putting God first will make everything align. Like that's the best thing you can do. Like, number one.
Like one lesson I've learned is being mindful of who you surround yourself with. I think when you're growing and you're changing and you're evolving, you need people that are going to be able to adapt to your growth. And you need people that are going to be able to envision or support the vision of the best you. And so like being in your 20s, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of inner work, finding out who you are, you know, who you want to become and where you're going. So being with people or walking with people that are able to grow with you and push you and keep you in a good place and a good mindset, it helps a lot. Because we're already going through like internal battles.
Right.
So why would you want external battles to add on?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going through my own, and you too, you want to bring your own. You know what I mean? So I feel like being surrounded with the right people, it really is key. Like it makes a huge difference.
I definitely agree on the term birds of a feather flock together, but only to like a certain extent. Because like me personally, like I have a variety of different friends that like I'm definitely not like we're definitely very different. But I do agree, like the people that you spend the most time with and like your core, like you guys are gonna like over time assimilate with one another. I feel like it really happens subconsciously, like we don't even realize when it happens for real. And that's why, like, this might sound controversial, but I definitely feel like if you are the most intelligent or successful out of all your friends, then like you need to find new friends. Not saying you need to like, you know, cut them off, but like I feel like you need
So you can't be the leader of the pack.
No, it's not even giving that. It's not giving the leader of the pack, but like, you definitely need to find new friends, because like I just feel like you being the most successful or smart out of your group of friends, like it's limiting growth. You know what I mean? Because like your flaws are kind of like hidden, because like, you know, but you're the smartest one.
I think one thing, sometimes people look at people monetarily. I think people serve people in different ways.
That's true.
I feel like people are multifaceted, and sometimes because we don't see people properly, we're quick to be like, you can't serve me. And that doesn't mean you surround yourself with everyone.
Right.
But you should still be cautious of what everyone brings to the table.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they may not come in the form of success, or may not come in the form of intellect, but you may be somebody that is genuine. You may be somebody that wants to see me win.
Right.
You may be someone that I can trust. And so what you're saying is 100%, but I think it's also important to gauge people properly.
I agree.
Because sometimes people really don't gauge people properly. They take people at face value. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like having the wisdom, and that's when it comes to really knowing God, because God will give you the wisdom to see people for who they are and discernment.
Yes.
Being able to see people for who they are, so that you don't judge them or miscalculate what they're supposed to be in your life.
Right.
Because they may not always be packaged the way you expect it to be packaged.
Yeah, I
you
definitely
know what
agree.
I mean?
And like, there's definitely people out here that's successful, but they did it like the wrong way. You know.
Yeah.
That's why like when I say successful though, like it doesn't only have to be like monetary.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't.
They have money. You know what I mean? But it's other ways that people are very successful. You know, like your relationship with God, like they're in a deeper relationship with God, like things like that. But I think it definitely is important, like to be surrounded by goal-oriented people and successful people, so you can grow. Because it's very important, like the people you surround yourself with, like you said, like it helps you grow. Like
the thing is, success can mean they're winning in their lane. Maybe you're not doing exactly what I'm doing, but the lessons that you're taking up from going on your journey, it could apply to me in a different way. And that goes to my next lesson, is being able to recognize that your journey is cater-made to you. Your path is cater-made to you. What God wants to do in your life is specific to you, and so you can't compare. Being in like an age of social media, like it's so tempting to think that you're behind or you're in front, but you're exactly where God wants you to be.
Right.
Because if you were meant to be 3 steps ahead, you'll be 3 steps ahead. And that's the thing with God, putting God first, is literally being able to recognize that like his hand is on your life. And because his hand is on your life, everything that seems casual is actually very specific to you. I think like even seeing other people's wins, being able to say your win doesn't take away from mine because I'm on my journey. Like someone could look 3 steps ahead of you, but what you're meant to do may not be what I'm meant to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had to like come to that place where I'm like, I'm not late. I'm on time.
Not for real.
Like I'm really on time.
Right.
Because my steps are ordered by the Lord.
Amen.
And that's the godly confidence that comes from you putting God first.
Yeah.
Like knowing that your steps are ordered.
Yeah.
And that's very important for your 20s because you're constantly trying to chase your definition of success.
Yeah.
You're constantly trying to grow. You're constantly trying to be the best you.
Yeah, your highest
And
self.
people are in different spaces.
Right.
And people are in different places. And if you compare yourself, you're always going to be miserable.
Yeah. I was definitely going to say, like, when you talked about comparison, like, I feel like the ultimate result to constantly compare yourself to other people is failure. Because it's like, at the end of the day, like, that's their purpose. That's their journey. You know what I mean? And it's like, you can't compare their journey to yours. Like, it's ultimately going to end up in you overthinking and, like, just building a barrier for reaching your success. So you definitely just have to take out that aspect of comparing, honestly. I think another big lesson that I learned in my 20s is the importance of like viewing yourself in God's image. The way society is structured, like it's only inevitable for you to like develop like insecurities and anxiety and settle for real. And that's why it's really important to see yourself in God's image and know that like you're perfect in his image. And like I feel like if you viewed yourself the way God viewed you, you would move completely different. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, you know, anxiety and insecurities, like they're from the devil, like because at the end of the day, like God sees you in his image and he sees you as perfect, and like you would hold yourself to a standard. And I feel like a lot of the reasons why we make a lot of mistakes, especially like trying to get into relationships and maintaining these friendships that are not serving you, or not even not serving you, but like they're bare minimum. Like bare minimum relationships is because like we're not holding ourselves to the standard that God is seeing us. And it's so important to see yourself like that, because like if you saw the way God would see you, then you wouldn't allow like, you know, stuff to happen and let people get away with things that they do, you know. So it's very important to see yourself in God's image.
I think that also ties into what I've learned, being defined by God and allowing God to really write the story. Like if you allow men to write the story, if you allow other people to write your story, you're never going to be content, because the way God has made you is designed for where you're going and what you're meant to do. And so only God can write your story. Only God can define who you are. You know what I mean? Like there's so many like instances like in the Bible where God like changed people's story and changed people's narrative, not because they were perfect, but because they were in God. And like I really do feel like being in God makes such a huge difference. And that's one thing that I really want to like, I guess, promote or whatever. Because it's a real thing.
I agree.
It's a real thing. Like letting God define you is a real thing. No one wants to be held bound by what people will say or what people think or what other people do. Everyone wants to be the best them.
Right.
But if you're constantly looking at what other people will say or what other people will do, you're never going to be the best you. Because the version of you that God made is looking for God.
That's true.
And the version of you that you're trying to cultivate is looking for man. So they're in conflict.
That was a deep one.
Yeah, like it's true. Recognizing that there's seasons in your life for certain things. And again, allowing God to write your story.
Right.
And allowing God to shift the seasons in your life and not moving based off of what people think you should do and moving truly off of what you believe you're supposed to do. Like no one wants to finish off life thinking I could have.
Right.
I could have done more. I could have, if I had just believed in my sauce, if I just went for it. Like, and that's not things we think about now because we're in our early 20s. But honestly, like, I feel like this time period is the best time to really go into what you're meant to do.
Yeah,
and just take this proper steps that's necessary for your future.
I agree. I think it's very important to take risks. Like, go for the thing that you think is the most impossible. You know what I mean? Like, it's so important to not only take risks, but to just do it. Like, dive into anything that you want to do, you know? Like, of course it's important to plan for some things that you're trying to attempt, but a lot of the times, like, it's very important to just start. Because that whole thinking period before pursuing something that you want to do, like, it can really delay you and prevent you from doing things. Like, sometimes you really just have to dive in it and then work accordingly, for real.
Yeah.
So that's like a very important lesson I learned too.
Yeah, I feel like life is a continuous cycle of ups and downs.
Yeah.
And I think
agree.
if you can maintain the mindset, the consistency, the discipline of when you're high during your low times, you'll come back up again.
I agree.
You know how like stocks is like long term, you'll see the growth, you'll see the progression, but if you zoom in, it's like ups and downs.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the times we don't realize that we're literally standing in what we prayed for. We're standing in what we asked for, standing in what we asked God for, because we're only seeing the downs.
Right.
But if we zoom out, we'll literally see how God has progressed us. We'll see how far God has taken us. You know what I mean? And that's another aspect of your 20s, having gratitude and appreciating the now and appreciating the moments. Because like for me and you, we both have long-term goals.
Yeah.
And so because we both have long-term goals, the goalpost is always moving back.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a next. There's always going to be something that we need to do.
Yeah.
And so if we don't appreciate the now and every moment that comes with our 20s and every moment that comes with this life, we're going to be miserable because we'll always be obtaining the next.
I agree. I definitely agree. Like, life, another lesson I learned is life is not a race, it's a marathon. Like, I feel like because we're young, we feel like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this, you know? Especially because a lot of the times, like, people want to be rich in their 20s. They don't even want to wait to 30. You know, they want to reach success in their 20s. Like, I feel like we're in a society that, like, people want to be successful as fast as possible because, I mean, at the end of the day, people want to have money. People want enjoyment, you know? So it makes sense, but I think it's very important that you have to understand, like you said, to live in the now, you know, and not worry about the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Like, you just have to understand that, like, go at your own pace, go at your own time. Like, it's not a race. Like, life is going to continue regardless, you know what I mean? So it's good to do it right. So yeah, like, I just really think, like, it's important, like you said, to just really focus on your goals now and do not focus on something that's not right in front of you because that's just too much.
It's
like,
too much.
Yeah, like, that's how you get overwhelmed. Like, how are you thinking? Like, an example, I'm so sorry. How are you thinking about, like me, right? Like, how am I thinking about residency and I haven't even graduated from medical school? how are you thinking about, matching, and you haven't even taken step one? Like, you have to do it step by step, because that's just too much worry and doubt. Like, leave that worry for that time period and just focus on the now, you know? Like, it's so important for real, because I feel like that's another way to fail. Like, I feel like that's another way the devil will come in and really delay you and fail you.
I think even with that, at the same time, don't waste your time.
Yes.
Because some people, they take their 20s as a joke.
That's true.
Me, I'm chilling. Me, enjoyment. There's a balance. You know what I mean? Like, I'm planning for the future. I'm building for the future. But there's a balance between, this is where God has me now. And I know that I'm made for more.
Right.
And I know that there could be more. You pray, you plan, and you execute.
Definitely.
You pray, you plan, and you execute. Like, you plan for the future, and you go for it. And yeah, you don't look back.
Yeah.
But you enjoy the moments along the way. I feel like, everyone has their own goals and their expectations. Like, if you want to be well off in your 20s, work as if you want to be well off in your 20s. Some people, they're chilling like they want to be rich in their 40s. You're doing night vigil,
Right.
but you don't want to do the work. And you see somebody that is succeeding in their 20s and you're jealous of them. That just goes to being practical.
Right.
Sometimes we have unrealistic expectations.
That's true.
You have to be able to be practical with your goals and be practical with what you want to do.
Right.
If you want to be the next Forbes under 30 under 30, you better work like you're trying to be 30 under 30. Don't act like you're trying to be 50 under 50.
That's true. That's true.
And you're working and you're wishing and praying for 30 under 30.
Yeah.
And then when someone else gets it, you're going to be mad. Comparison starts to creep in.
Yeah, that's
and then
true.
jealousy starts to creep in. And that's another thing. Being able to recognize that somebody else's win does not take away from mine.
Yes.
If you win, that doesn't take from me.
Exactly.
Because that's your win. My win is my win. It's personal to me. Your win is your win. It's personal to you. And having that confidence to be secure in yourself. And wanting and allowing other people to win without feeling guilty. And that's the thing I feel about social media. You're probably not going to agree. I personally feel like social media is a double-edged sword. And I feel like it's a double-edged sword because being able to see things that seem big become tangible to somebody that looks like you, someone that is like you, is inspirational.
I agree. I do. But I feel like the problem comes in when it's a facade.
When it's fake?
Yeah. Example, you see someone our age, they're riding G-Wagon, they're riding Benz, but it's rented. No, what if the car is rented for the weekend? Like, that's the thing.
I hear you.
What if the person was scamming? Like, did Bank of America chase, and it was a good week for them?
But you cannot fake for life.
No, you can though. You proper can fake on Instagram for a good
Every
amount
week.
of time.
Every week we see you win. Social media is not real, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, it's real to an extent.
Yeah. Okay, I agree.
It's real to an extent.
Yeah.
And so, like, my point is, like...
Because you can't have Gucci slippers and, like, you ain't do nothing. Like, you know
that's
what
I'm saying. I feel like...
But it could be your friend's Gucci slippers. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, but I feel like it makes certain things that used to seem far away close.
Okay.
Like, if I were to use social media responsibly, right? And I only follow people that have a white coat.
Okay.
I unfollow everybody and they only have a white coat. What if by fire by force I'll become a doctor?
Yes, it will definitely motivate you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, it makes it tangible.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Before we close off, I want to get your advice, right? What do you have to say about relationships?
Oh my God.
Like, what you've learned.
What I've learned?
Yeah.
Not me looking at the camera like that. What I've learned in relationships is that, like, the number one thing you do in the beginning before deciding to pursue a relationship with somebody is you have to sit back and carefully analyze, does this person fear God? And the thing is that most people that you ask, do you fear God, they're gonna say yes, because that's what they want. They want in their mind they want to fear God, but it's a subconscious thing. The way you know if somebody fears God, let me tell you. The way you know if someone fears God is you see their life. How are they moving through life? If they're not moving through life, that emulates someone that has the fear of God. Because let me tell you, when you have the fear of God, you're not gonna do certain things in this life because you know that you're gonna see God and you have to face God. When you did that evil thing, he said, why did you do this? Most people in this generation, if you ask them to name 5 Bible quotes, they will not even be able to say 2. They will not even say a poem. That's how you know someone doesn't fear God. How do you fear God and you don't even know your Bible? But is that some people, because Christian boys too, it be Christian boys in the church that even knows God, that they know God but they don't fear God. So that's not even a good way too. The biggest way to know if someone fears God is you see how they move through life. That's how you know. And like seeing if they've done somebody wrong or how they do people in this life. That's how you know if somebody fears God. Now, don't get it twisted. You can't judge someone's past. So just just take your time to see how they're moving. Believe people when they show you who they are. Like, I feel like that's one of the cheat codes in life. Like, our subconscious is very much alive. So I feel like subconsciously people mess up, and people show themselves again and again and again. And it's up to the person to like see it. And it's like, it's okay if it's the first time, but if it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 second, like, come on.
Patterns don't lie. I would say when it comes to relationships is know who you are. I think that's a cheat code for everything. Knowing your worth, knowing who you are. But I think it's especially important when you're walking into any relationship, whether it be friendships, romantic relationships, whatever. Just know who you are. Have a firm foundation of who you are.
Yeah.
And don't make anyone God for you. Yeah, you guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Period. Make sure again you like, comment.
I interrupted you. Sorry, my bad. We can just do it again.
But
wrap it up then. It's like, nah. I'm choking now.
But yeah, you guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys, make sure you guys follow Moni on her social media. Don't forget again to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Bye.